Hi everybody, today we're going to work on making a one-point perspective drawing so that we can show distance in a work of art. Before I get started, I want to make sure that we can hold our rulers correct. So what I need you to do as we make, anytime I say we're making a horizontal line, I need you to make sure that you're holding your ruler completely lined up with the right side or left side of your picture as you can see in this frame. When you make a vertical line, make sure your ruler lines up with the top part of your paper. Finally, in a minute here, we're going to measure things to our vanishing point. Make sure that your ruler is touching the point on the vanishing point. The first step is going to be to establish a horizon line. The horizon line is the imaginary line that separates the sky from the earth. And the point I'm making right now is called a vanishing point. This is the point that all objects are going to seem to recede to. So it just sort of disappears to this vanishing point. This is true to how it actually looks when we're out and about and looking at things into a distance. If we're driving down the road and we're looking out to the end of the road, it's going to look as if things are actually disappearing to an imaginary point, and that is what the vanishing point is. So this is always how you want to start a one-point perspective drawing. Create a horizon line and create a vanishing point. We're going to make the lines on the road that are furthest from the vanishing point bigger, darker, and more spread out. And as it gets closer to the vanishing point, they're going to get lighter, closer together, and smaller. This is going to give the illusion of distance. Now I'm going to draw some cactuses on the side of my road here. And what I'm doing is I'm creating some indicator lines. These are lines that we're going to use for measurement that we will end up erasing when we're done. And you can see both my top indicator line and bottom indicator line was measured to my vanishing point. The next thing is we're creating vertical lines, meaning I'm lining my ruler up with the top of my paper and I'm making sure I'm doing straight up and down lines. This is important because if you don't hold your ruler vertical, it'll make your objects look like they're tilting over. Notice how much space is between those two vertical lines. As I get closer to my vanishing point, those lines are going to stay vertical, but they're going to get really close together. Okay, they're also going to get lighter to give the illusion that they are getting further away. I am now going to turn my vertical line into a cactus by drawing around my vertical line. You can use this vertical line though to essentially draw anything on the side of the road. You could draw fences, you could draw trees, you could draw light poles, but you always want to start with your vertical line to have a framework of where your objects are going to go and to make sure that they are drawn vertical, totally straight up and down. Now that we have our cactuses drawn, we can go ahead and erase any indicator line drawn to use to make this measured accurately. Now I would like to show you how to draw any kind of building in correct one-point perspective. So what I'm doing here is I'm drawing a square, a plain old square, I am measuring it, that is located underneath the vanishing point and the horizon line. When I am drawing anything that lands underneath my horizon line, I am in what's considered to be bird's eye view, meaning I'm a bird flying over the city and I'm looking down at my objects so I can see the side of the buildings and also the ceiling of the buildings. That being said, when you draw a building that is in bird's eye view, you need to line up 3 points to your vanishing point to make sure you're showing the ceiling. You are going to line up the edge of your buildings to the vanishing point and connect them. The next step will be to create the back of your building. I am going to create a vertical line. I'm lining my ruler up to my horizon line to get a vertical line. And the top line, your ceiling back line, will be a horizontal line. Make sure you line up your ruler correct. Once you have your building drawn, erase your indicator lines that you no longer need. We now have 3 sides to our building. The side I'm on right now is our viewer side, the side that's facing the viewer. When I create doors and windows or anything on the viewer side, I'm always going to use just plain old vertical and horizontal lines. So that's what I'm going to do in this section. Now I'm on the side of my building. When I'm on my side, I want to create any horizontal line lined up to my vanishing point. So if there's a horizontal line, you're going to now line it up to your vanishing point. When I go to do my vertical lines, the vertical lines are just going to stay the same. Erase all indicator lines used for measurement. I'm going to show you how to do one more building, but this time our building is going to be on top of or touching our horizon line. So I'm still going to measure out a rectangle or a square, and it has to land someplace on top of your horizon line for this viewpoint. This viewpoint is going to be eye level viewpoint. It's different from bird's eye because now it is eye level. We no longer have to see the ceiling. So that means we're only going to line up 2 points on our rectangle, not 3. So again, this is called eye level perspective. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to establish the back of our building. So I'm going to erase my indicator lines here, and then I'm going to make sure my ruler is totally lined up with the top of my paper to get a straight vertical line and draw a vertical line for the back of my building. The same rules are going to apply as far as windows and doors go. If it's on the viewer side, the side closest to us, it's going to be straight vertical and horizontal lines. When we get to the side of the building, we're going to make sure that we're lining all horizontal lines back over to the vanishing point. Erase all extra indicator lines. I'm not going to go too much into shading on this video, but I will let you know that objects that are closest to us and furthest from the vanishing point will be the darkest. They will also have the most detail, so you'll render those the most. And as you get further away or closer to your vanishing point, you will be softer, you will lose all the details, and the objects that are furthest away, it just might look like a blob. So those are the basics for one-point perspective drawing. You can get a lot more complicated on this, but make sure that you guys have the basics down. Good luck and see you next video.